Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm very excited because my Pat McGrath order has finally arrived. The new eyeshadow quads that I ordered from her website are finally here for me to review, let you know my thoughts, make some comparisons, and we'll see if they're worth picking up for this holiday season. If you're new here, hi, my name is Naz. I hope that you enjoy this video and consider subscribing before you leave. I post twice a week on product reviews, tutorials, and makeup hauls, and all the other beauty related content. And without further ado, let's get started. Alright, so these are the new eyeshadow quads that Pat McGrath has launched with her Celestial Divinity collection, and these are for the holiday 2021. I did review the Celestial Odyssey eyeshadow palettes, so I'll make sure to link it for you guys if you're interested in seeing my review. But today we're going to talk about these quads. So these are the quads that she launched in her Celestial Odyssey 2021 holiday collection, and these are the Luxe Quads. So I have Deep Space Divinity and I also have Bronze Borealis. I don't know if I said that right, so I might have butchered it. Deep Space Divinity comes in red packaging, while the Bronze Borealis comes in this pink packaging, which is very cute. As always, Pat McGrath has this fancy packaging that we are used to seeing from her. And then here's what it looks like. It is her regular packaging for her eyeshadow quads, good quality and very sturdy as always. And here is the Bronze Borealis. It is very beautiful, but I feel like this color story is not very different than her usual color stories. And then here is Deep Space Divinity. I know that there's a lot of you wondering if this looks anything like the Interstellar Icon, which was launched last year. So we'll go ahead and make some comparisons for that as well. Right out of the gate, these pen sizes definitely look smaller than her normal quads, so let me give you guys a comparison here. So this one is Fleur Fantasia, and just take a look here. You can tell that this right here is definitely larger pan sizes than this one. There is certainly some difference there. So this is actually 4 quads, 2 grams each. So this equals to about 8 grams. This is her older palette. And this one right here says a total of 4.4 grams. So it's almost half the weight of her older eyeshadow palettes. To be honest with you, I never go through eyeshadow palettes because I have so many. And I believe these were cheaper as well. I think these were $53 each, while her other palettes were $58 in the past. So I really don't mind less eyeshadow for cheaper pricing because I have so many and I never go through them. So for me, it doesn't really matter. But if that is something of concern to you, then keep that in mind. So let's go ahead and do some swatches. I'm going to start swatching the Bronze Borealis. So this is Lunar Legend. We have Sienna Rose, Mink Dusk. This one's powdery. And then Cyber Bronze. So at top we have Lunar Legend, and then Sienna Rose, and then Mink Dusk and Cyber Bronze. Right out of the gate, these two shades swatched a bit differently than her older formula. This one especially was very powdery, and then this one had a lot of kickoff to it as well. But nonetheless, they look beautiful, so we'll see how they apply on the eye. So let's go into Deep Space Divinity. We have Golden Aura, Rose Nocturne, this one here, Alien Moon, and then Dawn Fantasia. Again, very beautiful. I can't wait to use this shade right here. It's definitely got a duochrome to it. And these ones I think swatched a little bit better, but we'll see how they apply on the eye. So let's take a look and compare this to the Interstellar Icon that was launched last year. So here is Interstellar Icon right here. And here is Deep Space Divinity. So you can tell that the pan sizes are much larger on the Interstellar Icon, but I actually don't see a lot of similarities. Even the blue here is very different. It's more sky blue than this one, I would say isn't very bluish. And the burgundy shade is definitely different. Even the lighter shimmer doesn't seem to be the same, but let's go ahead and swatch them. All right guys, so here are the swatches. The top part is the new quad, which is the Deep Space Divinity, and then on the bottom we have Interstellar Icons. But you can tell that this new quad is definitely different than the Interstellar Icon, which is the older quad. They're, I would say, not even close, because look at this blue here. There's more purple bluish tone in that one versus this one here. It's got more of a burgundy duochrome effect to it. Even the lighter shimmer shade here is not very close to this one. So again, I just don't think they're very similar at all, even though at first glance we all thought that it might have been very similar to that Interstellar Icon palette. So let's continue swatching and making some comparisons. I now went into the bronze palette. I swatched this Mink Dusk shade right here. And Mink Dusk is on top right here. Bottom here, I found a shade from the Wine Rose 2 palette. It is this one right here that looked very similar to Mink Dusk. So you'll see that they are very similar, although this one here does lean a bit more dark. And then I went into the shade Sienna Rose. That one is on top here. And then I dove into this other shimmer that was in the Wine Rose 2 palette. And it is this one right here, which I thought was pretty similar. If you look at them, they definitely are similar shades. And even when I swatch them, you can tell there's some similarities, although the one on the new bronze palette up top here, it's probably a bit more dark. But on the eye, I don't think you can really tell. All right, guys, and then I swatched the shade here, which is Cyber Bronze. Then I basically found a shade right here, and this is from her Mothership 5 palette. This one is called Bronze Blaze. Here is how similar those are. So this top one is from the new bronze palette, and then the bottom one is from Mothership 5. So again, there are some similarities. There's that gold tone to it. So when it comes down to it, I think if you have a lot of her older palettes, then you might not really need this. This color story is not really special and not very different than what we're used to seeing from her. You probably have these tones and can create similar looks using her other palettes. All right, that's all with the swatches. Let's go ahead and move on to the application. So I'm going to go in with this Deep Space Divinity palette first. I'm going to apply it to this side of my face. So I am first going in with this shade right here. That is very pigmented, so I'm going to try to blend it out a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna have to wipe it out. All right, I'm gonna go in with a clean brush and blend it out. Just because there is a lot of pigment with that one and I really don't want more product. It's blending out okay, but I'm not sure how I feel about this formula yet. It feels a bit different than her other formula. Even though there is pigment, it's a bit harder to blend out. So here's what that shade looks like on the eye. And then I'm going to dive right into this shade here, which is Alien Moon. So just gonna take that on this brush here. This is my Refer 02 brush. So again, that shimmer is very beautiful. I'm just going to blend it out. Going back in with this fluffy brush and just meshing everything together. Going to take this lighter shimmer here on a little pencil brush and then place that in the front right here. And then go ahead and use this shade as well. This one is Dawn Fantasia. Just taking it on my finger and going to place it right here. And then I'm taking this brush here to go into this shade here. I really want to tap that off because there's a lot of product in here. It's very pigmented. I'm going to go in the lower lid and go into this lighter shade again with my pencil brush, and I'm going to take that on the bottom lid. Going to put on some mascara and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. So here's the finished look on this side with the Deep Space Divinity palette. I really like how this look turned out. Not going to lie, I was a bit afraid of this shade called Rose Nocturne because it does lean a bit red. Burgundy red eyeshadows, I'm a bit more careful because it makes my eyes look like I almost have red eye or I got punched in the face, but I found that it doesn't actually look like that on my eye. I do like how the colors mashed well together, and especially her color story. Pat McGrath always does a great job of picking the right shades that work with each other and just create a most beautiful look. I think this does not disappoint, and overall I am happy with this palette. Some fallback, I don't know if you can tell. Got some of this shade and then the burgundy red shade down here. If you are going to use this palette, you might want to consider maybe doing your eyes first and then going into your face makeup and concealer last. All right, now let's go ahead and use this palette on the side of my face. I'm going to first dive into this shade right here. This is called Mink Dusk. From what I remember swatching this one was very, very powdery. So going in, oh yes, that is definitely very, very powdery. And even on the palette itself, there's some kickoff there. I feel like this might be a new formula here. Put that on the outer. Guys, that is so powdery. Look at that, it's all over the palette. This is very surprising. It's not what I expected from a Pat McGrath eyeshadow palette at all. I am very, very shocked. So I don't know if it's just me that thinks these are so powdery. I haven't watched any other reviews, but let me know in the comments below if you did pick these up and you found them to be very powdery. But interesting. Okay. Anyway, I'm going to dive into this rosy shade right here. All right, now I'm going to dive into this shade right here, which is Cyber Bronze. And I am just taking it on my finger. Again, a lot of kickback, a lot of fallout on this as well. So this could really get messy. I would say be careful. Definitely do your eye look first if you are going to go in with these palettes because they're gonna get everywhere. I'm a bit worried, but we'll see. So I managed to keep it in my lid without getting any fallout, but I can tell that this is very powdery formula and there is a high chance that I'm going to get fallout throughout the day, but we will find out if that happens. There is some fallout, but that's normal. Taking my pencil brush and going into the lightest shade here and going to pop that right here. And then going back to this shade Mink Dusk and tapping a lot of it off. I don't know if you can tell, but it's just everywhere right now. It is definitely very powdery. And I'm going to put that on my bottom lid. Going to put mascara on and I'll be right back. Here's the final look using the new Bronze Borealis palette right here on the side, and I definitely love the bronzy goldy look, so I am a fan of this palette, but I do have to tell you guys that this is nothing that is that special. Now with this eye, I think the Deep Space Divinity is a special palette. It's different. The duochrome shade in there with the shift, the burgundy shift, is just really nice and very pretty and something that is holiday worthy in my opinion. This bronze one here, if you have her Divine Rose palettes, then you have all these shades. Really, there's nothing crazy here. With that, I do want to say that especially this bronze palette here had a lot of fallout and powdery formula. Even the shimmers were thick, and this just seems like a new formula. I almost even wonder if she went a little bit cheaper on this. Both of these palettes actually seem to be made in USA. It doesn't seem like one is, you know, Italy and one is USA, and that's why we see a difference. Quite honestly, I was not a huge fan of the formula in this one. Now, this Deep Space Divinity did have good formula. I did not have any issues blending these out, even though this burgundy shade here did have some fallout, and it is very pigmented, so I recommend going in light-handed with that one. But it did blend very nice, and all the shades worked well together, and it did perform well up to the Pat McGrath standards. So again, my final thought on these is that this one is worth checking out simply because of this duochrome shade, and it is a palette that sticks out in my collection. Even though these two lighter shimmer shades are stuff that I can certainly find in my collection, but this shade right here, Alien Moon, is what really makes this palette unique, and I like that all the other shades complement it very well. So I really enjoyed creating this look, and I think it is perfect for the holidays. I would say definitely skip on this if you have her other Divine Rose palettes, because you definitely have these shades, and you have these shades in a better formula in my opinion. This formula did not stand out to me as a Pat McGrath formula. I feel like something happened here, very powdery, very patchy, and a lot of fallout with this one. So I don't recommend this one. Overall, I recommend the big Celestial Odyssey palette if you are going to treat yourself to a holiday gift, or you're going to get it to somebody else. I definitely love that palette. And that's it for this video, guys. I hope that you guys enjoyed the video, and if you did, please don't forget to subscribe to see more videos like this, and hit that like button. It really helps my channel a lot, and I can't wait to see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.